drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. And, as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind. No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container. You're back before the cargo container. And, as it's always been, before the cargo container. And as it's all... This is the night watchman's booth.
Unpromising race pupil returns.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
You know, there might be other places to sleep on this coast. You'll find one eventually. The door is closed.
Yes?
The fan stands still. The switch must be broken, because nothing happens. The air in the room is starting to feel like vaporized urine. The lights are off again. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now. That soap scum smell. It smells like life, at least compared to you. The bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans are bobbing up and down along your flanks, like sad duckies. Now you are alone with your thoughts in the tub, but it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. You see the corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of that stench. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity. Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside the fridge. It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two. Just relax. This is easy. This is happening. He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of dead muscles, with hoarfrost covering his milky eyes. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh. Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before. The stink is incredible. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Can I help you?
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests. There are several pots and pans on hand. Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar. A commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to make enough stew to feed an entire city, and also to boil a putrid pair of death boots. There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of the stove. There is also a bottle of white vinegar in the cabinet next to the fridge. It's bad with those boots. Don't be stingy now. The delicious smells of cheap soap and vinegar waft up from the pot. All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them. The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil. Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. They float to the bubbling surface. A two-course dinner of rotten flesh and hardened ceramic. The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too, just like beef stew. That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam, dense with the smell of strange meat, disappears into the vent above the stove. A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect. You look down at the white ceramic sabatons hugging your arches and calves, surprised at how well they fit. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions. The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, you should analyze the armor, figure out its vulnerabilities. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it, observe its properties, see if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material. The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bird. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
Oh yes, they'll check you out, give you some pills, make it all okay. The Wonder Makers.
Don't be stupid, Harry. It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes and stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that? Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
The door is closed. This door still...
Yes? Okay, let's talk about it. You stole the boats. Congratulations. That must have taken an enormous concerted effort, considerable ingenuity and timing. Now, I'm going to report you and you are going to go to jail. It was a joke, sadly. There's nothing I can do about your delinquency. What's done is done. Let's get back to police work.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about? Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of bacterial colony Migenou found. Migenou disappeared shortly after. Yes, the bacteria had survived.
It's actually a little hard to see. But do go on.
Yes, and she's quite mad too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so we can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now. Of course, dear.
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Like undercover?
Well, as far as disguises go, this is one of the best I've seen. I mean, I could swear you're an actual bum.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What do you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. He might be wearing a disguise. You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? No, because in this thought experiment, we are police officers in a police station. We don't do crimes. We're not crime bros.
Come on, stop it.
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I. Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening, though. Who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like? No! You will not start blabbering about that asshole.
He didn't answer your question.
No. 'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? Actually, I don't want to hear you say things.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
You think he was hanged as a cover-up? To hide the shooting? Okay, well... I don't know. Why are you?
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. A custom even? Strange.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it? Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing up. So, do you know who hanged him? Yeah, I can see that. I don't... Oh my god, there's more. Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Oh really? I wonder where. That's the where you remember me from? Okay then. It's probably a coincidence. People sound alike. Goodbye.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. But still, yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again? I can't believe this shit. I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay?
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again. The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Yes, I am. I know.
Here's the real deal.
It's hard to tell whether he's sarcastic or sincere, but if you had to guess, you would say the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
I'm definitely not the cavalry. I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay. Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
What precinct?
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates? That's not possible.
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
Well, he's not. He's a sack of shit barely kept together by crazy glue. But at least he tries, unlike you.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? Of course I'm with...
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe we're both assholes.
Please, let's not turn... Of course I'm with him.
And you look like you don't bathe, on principle.
Please, let's not turn. Of course I'm with you. The sooner you figure this hanging out, the sooner everyone can go home. I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith. Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
Okay.
I'm just looking out for...
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
You're a fucking asshole. Are we done here? I don't...
Don't say anything, Judith.
I'm just...
No one.
Yes. A policewoman who just wants to do her job. That's all.
Yes?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands, in her face. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that. A man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
I represent the Union and these men here. Don't make this personal.
A very minor victory.
I said
Even you caught her off guard.
you are...
You said a man like Easy Leo.
I represent the Union.
A very minor. You caught her.
No. Talk to Titus. I said
You caught her off guard.
you are...
You a man like Easy Leo.
I am a legal...
A very minor. Even though you caught her off guard.
You are...
You said a man like Easy.
He said no such thing. This isn't about me.
Calm down, everyone. Let's stay professional.
Aggressive?
Just dock workers.
Listen. You...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask. Or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Just
Listen.
fuck.
So ask what you came... I don't need privatization peons from a rent-a-cop. Just do your job.
Just
Listen.
fuck.
So ask what you can. Get sober. Do your job. Ask your questions and get the hell out of
Just
Listen.
fuck.
So ask what you came to ask. Let's.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't. Well, the rest of that Nancy stuff was really just there to make the gun thing more appealing. But it might work anyway. The rest of that Nancy stuff was really just there to make the gun thing more appealing. But it might work anyway.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us. Going around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong. All the while talking racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, Fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints.
Fascia. That's short for fascist.
Of course you have. You've been calling people kip left and right, inciting race violence in my town.
Callie said they've been trying to set up a race rally, whatever the fuck that means. Trying to get the kips out of Revachol before the economy goes to shit. Sure there is. Callie said they're bulk purchasing confetti, ribbons too, and loudspeakers.
Get the fuck out of here, you racist carny. There'll be no race rally in my town.
What happened? We got absolutely wiped. Let's go before it gets worse.
What's going on? Are you racist now? Is the rally real? Please don't set up any rally. It will make you look awful.
Again? I can't believe...
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know.
Where is this going, officer?
She gives you a short nod. The woman...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the backstage.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Ooh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Does anyone in a city like this? It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
Hello again, officers. Have you...
You hear someone walking around in a poor communard.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. This door is no one.
We should return in the evening.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf.
Yes?
Trying to sneak up on me again? Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig!
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing though? Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case. There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found, right now.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing. And I specifically added that I didn't need to know where he was. Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me? I don't follow. Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
Remember, about that what? Never ever say what.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband. Although not that one.
Ha, blam. Knew it.
I did, and he is. He's also an alcoholic. No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park or in Shamrock somewhere, drinking with his friends. I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
I wouldn't be so sure. Man, just to be completely clear, do you want to report it to the police?
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local goofballs.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Honestly, not that different from you. Oh, thank God, no. It hasn't come down to this yet. Well, he's slightly chubby. What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself.
It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change.
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it? Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold. Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home, because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, this is a missing persons case. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
So you are going to look for him? Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will. Of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing. Right. What?
She gives you a short... Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you? It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what is it now? Mm-hmm.
Anything else I can help you? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over. 10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. 10-4, sir. 10-4. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just... the jam's got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct. Damn. It's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit, usually through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud.
Then what's your deal here?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
Whoa! What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself. Right. But really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want to know if it's yours. No matter. Great verse is like that sometimes. Ephemeral. You might not look it. Seems you have some literary chops. Maybe there's hope for me yet. Just messing with you. It's cool. You're an okay guy. For a cop. They're more often into fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse.
The lieutenant looks at you in silence, a curious look in his eyes, nodding slightly.
Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing to, even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy. On the Insulindian Isola, stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Auron. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. Cocaine. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum, a group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either. The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. The men have a small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber? Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerra. Until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerra.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
All of what? The world? The present?
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Lowman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole. Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. Then it's contraband, Lowman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand? Hermenegildos's bad hand. strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need to listen to on the Western Plain.
The boyadero, boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. People like Mañana at the gates have turned it into an ideology of sorts.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. Of course not. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him. You have to understand, a true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything.
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case. But connected to this woman tuning out like that.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best communers around. I drive routes no one else will. Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatalia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly. You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say? What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary. The great unrest.
Then what were you getting at?
This line of questioning is going nowhere. Try harder. Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
You're man, Lowman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grad, Lowman? No, Lowman, diamonds. Diamonds are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras. Easy. It's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
lorry stuck in the traffic. The window, fumes of heavy fuel.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
The man has turned his attention elsewhere.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
Before the cargo container. It's drawn.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself. Oh, that one.
Told you.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today? I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very befitting a police officer. I'm not a real detective. You are.
That's all he's going to say on this subject.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire? I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
So they shot him?
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my two little policemen. Godspeed, policeman. How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her? Don't give him the pleasure.
Oh, and she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March? Strange. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me?
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit.
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here, you need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist. What? Oh, how could I forget your little side project? Well done, Harry. Well done. Don't even tell me what it was. But good job. I love it when workers take the initiative like this. See you soon, Debardeur. Just kidding, but not too much.
In your hands, you hold 16 days of coldest April. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugoslavia riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugoslavia riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugoslavia Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft. She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit. as life leaves their remains between the soil sheets. Their final thoughts are filled with regret. You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center.
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way. There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
Hold on, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend. They're sort of...
Is he? Come on. He's just trying to keep the peace.
Why not? Must be nice being something else for a change.
Several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottle. A colorful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, Capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. They want to laugh at his jokes even before they leave his lips. This guy is a born leader. But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
You have so many bad options ruled out, it's insane. There is no way in the world you won't do it this time.
You know what? You guys must be the cops. Because this is what cops do, right? Live in a bar, sit on their fat asses like they own the place, while the neighborhood goes to shit. Corpses hang from trees. Kids shoot up.
Hey, we don't have to fucking take this shit.
Glenn.
Everyone shut up! Fuck you, man. You didn't see the place before we got here. Fucking graffito everywhere.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push, quick.
Titus is hiding nothing. Titus?
You want to talk to her? Fine, talk to her. I got nothing to hide.
Everybody has something to hide. He certainly does.
So long as you treat her with respect. No questioning, no harassing, or you got the freight train of pain heading your way. You understand?
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde. That's Amon Ju with an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours. Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months. You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranye disco dancer is an immigrant or a drifter of some sort. Been staying over here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all. Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent.
What do you think I meant? Yeah, pretty much. No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you ask. So put your dick away.
He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
You don't know her. Good boy. Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that? You looked strange when he mentioned the assault victim's name. Do you know that woman? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. Okay, that's manageable. So she overheard you, or did you party together? Anything else? That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else? What you're saying is, you raped her?
Ice is forming on the inside of your chest cavity. Cold sweat trickles down your neck.
Then, don't ever say that again. What else? We'll be alright, officer. This is nothing.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be alright. Is it though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up. The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. Nothing of note. The further you look, the more arcane it gets. You don't know what the rest of this stuff does. This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. The lieutenant looks toward the door as if he didn't see you pilfer that sweet Preptide. He did, though. He totally did, and now he thinks less of you. Should have kept it sub rosa. Who cares, man? Who cares what the stiff thinks? Here comes the afterburner. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. Six crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the civil war. Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Water flows under the channel bridge. Dark water. You rub your sides for warmth, but there is none. Inland, above the Martinez distributary, the channel that brought wastewater from the silk mills of Jamrock, and then dead bodies during the war. The wrinkled fingers of an old man crush flower petals, then sprinkle them in the stream like white salt. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say it's why the cleaning lady quit.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see. Flazier Amandu.
Same name that Titus gave you. Like her accent, it sounds Oranese. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate. A bad memory, officer.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revachol, the coalition. People consider it a reasonable superpower. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out anytime, like Revachol did in its prime.
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. A night. At least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing, if you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes. Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why I hid it.
Why, yes.
I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. Phew. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie. The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol. Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star-sized caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments, like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm talking serious corruption here.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can easily log it under confiscation.
Robbed by common highwaymen.
It's hard to tell if she means it in earnest or as a joke.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Yeah? All right. It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it? Is it? It is afternoon. Time flies, man. Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. I'm sure there is one person in the world who does. I mean, there are so many people. But let me make this clear. The man who was hanged from that tree did not rape me.
The wording, the verbal eye roll. She's almost disgusted with the platitude you served up.
We partied. A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
Yes. We made balloon animals, drank lemonade, inflated a bouncy castle.
Yeah, I love that too. We frosted the glasses, I unwrapped my bike, there was a petting zoo with little white rabbits.
I would like it to have been that way, but it wasn't.
How was it?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. I guess you can say that, yes, a bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's got mystery phone cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, you'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was... what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatercraft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie. They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth. She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. You are not a fool. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting. The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Not my favorite topic, but I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now.
I know it's difficult, miss.
How about we,
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, still not happening. It won't come off that easy.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Yes, it's
as if waiting for some kind of reaction.
The clouds are still hanging around. What is it now? Again? Seriously, man. Fine. Yeah, whatever. Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her, and you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody.
Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why, once you listen to it. You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that. We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Even if you caught her up.
No. Talk to Titus.
You stare at the great Door Gunner Megamix. If only you had a boombox, you would be able to play Titus's tape. The compact tape player is still and silent. Seems it has completely broken down now. The machine was made in Revachol by a company called Le Mercier. Their logo depicts the triple-towered Delta skyline. It was supposedly built to last. There's no fixing this one.
This would have been very helpful with the Megamix, but it isn't anymore. My Kinema only comes with radio. Let's try to find a new tape player. Perhaps we should talk to Roy at the pawn shop. He has stuff.
Yes? What is it?
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker. Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coat Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups. Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? No. I'm going to turn you into an athletic benchmark, you big pussy. It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete. When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going to piss himself. It just happens. No shame in that. Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. The Homo Athleticus.
Officer! God damn it. Pull yourself together, René. What do you want? It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable.
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims it at the sea. This man knows firearms intimately.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her? I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find. I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck. It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution. You know what? Now, they brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the idea for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you'll have to wait for at least a month.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? And what? Oh. Look, man. I'm not into politics. I like everyone. Check out the box.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
No good. All you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your thighs and too loose around the waist. They itch like hell. Like an itch pit in hell.
All natural materials, see? Real wool, 100% skin friendly, and they're yours for only 2 real.
You see 2 lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra series.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Only? That's madness. Found ultra. Wear the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine? These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, "Solidarity aid from the People's Republic of Samara." The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. Then look at them again. These are the premium lifestyle sneakers, officer. The best on the market. No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. Well, if you want them, but see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lot. Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue, all right. But these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater.
Wow, officer! You look so cool! And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
Officer, the flashlight, please. Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. I just don't like it very much. movement on the road never really gelled well with the movement of my thoughts. Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop and then moving on.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I didn't really know what to make of it, but I know it meant something. Yeah, we still have those boomboxes on the shelves. Sure thing. Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, asking for all sorts of things.
Wait, then it might be true. Everard's claims.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous as Everard seem like they're lying, even when they're really being truthful.
Sure, man.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape-reel eyes.
A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real.
Remember, he doesn't like music. He likes sounds. The Doorgunner Megamix is his type of tape. Certainly, he'd give you a discount if he knew you'd play something so experimental. Careful. You can only do this once.
$4 is offensively low, but just this once. For the music, concrete, cop. Sorry, man, I can't be giving out freebies. Never have, won't now. And here you are, quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachon. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then indeed, but end of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Yes, it was just locker room talk. One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his. A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad.
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. Or maybe Kohoi is just merc talk for atrocity, slaughter.
A symbol of Soldier of the Apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions. Not my favorite topic, but okay. I'm sorry,
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it.
How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He liked the way it sounded when he said it. As to Kohoi, he wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? In Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. at ease. As much as a man like him could be.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Not my favorite topic. I'm sorry,
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return.
How about we...
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink. Everything left to be clarified is in the column on the left.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot. Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Moindi. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
A column of air encircles her, brushing gently on the metallic silver fabric that covers her shoulders and her long, slender arms.
It didn't love him.
The feeling dissipates. The cold passes. The woman's eyes follow yours to the piece of notebook paper.
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points aren't good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die. The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you.
Blue. Like blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
No. I can see you've put quite a few things here. They don't all give you a point.
There it is, in your rushed writing. Right where the lieutenant is pointing. Pig's gonna have sex. You should really get this questioning back on track now.
Oh, that. Sure, service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Orani's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands, and on other islands too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic? Is the Union communist? They're a couple of shades pinker than that, no? They're not hardcore in that way, is what I'm trying to say. What are we talking about anyway? This politics shit is a lot in the morning. Is it even morning?
I think she's just tired. She doesn't know what you meant by that. And can you blame her?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now. All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42. Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old. How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Huh. How old do I think you are?
She's buying time to formulate the best answer.
I don't know. 40? I was like 9 when OO peaked. That was what, 19 years ago? I liked them when I was 9. You couldn't have liked it when you were 40. Let's say you were 20-something. 25. A good disco age. 25 plus 19 is 44. I'm gonna say you're 44.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a university degree, you know? Absolutely. Age is just a number, man.
Yes, miss, but for him that number is 56.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy.
I don't know. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams and cantilevers. A dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building.
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. No, still a mini investigation.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You kick it, gung-ho style, entering the premises style. But the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you.
All right, let's trash the place.
Let's not.
Clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? And that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Locker room talk. What are you, fucking brain dead? I've been to plenty of locker rooms. They don't plan rapes there. What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Right. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
I ask for your opinion, not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma.
But she didn't. She knows she can't lie to us, unlike you.
Fantastic. So now, you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here.
Yeah, guys. We should get a party going tonight.
Why?
Maybe not then.
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head. Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Who could? It's getting harder and harder to perform one's part in this sordid play. All it takes is a nudge.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!" That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. Understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Claudia is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it.
Officer, what you looked strange when he meant is there some...
Whatever you do.
What you... Then, what else? Understood. You... Okay, that's manageable. So she of anything else? That's clearly your interrogation will be a...
You feel... Is it... The door is
Who is?
tight.
Come on.